everyone, and welcome to episode 86 of the TV Knitting Podcast. Today is March 22nd, 2015, and yeah, I'm ready to record a show. So, oh my goodness, I am so hot right now. I'm up in my studio, and right above me, right up here, there's a skylight. And all afternoon it's been beautiful and sunny, and I think it's about 85 degrees in here, even though it's about 30 outside. So yeah, spring is coming. Maybe only in here though, not outside yet. But I'm very hot, so I'm going to start my segments right away. So yeah, stitchery. I finished something and I'm taking it off because I'm super hot. This is the Follow Your Arrow 2 shawl. Isn't it pretty? I'm really thrilled with it. And I want to give a special thank you to Kristen. Thank you, Kristen Voolenvine of the Yarngasm podcast. She dyed this yarn, and it was a one-of-a-kind colorway called Private Isle, and I adore this color. It is so stunning. I love it. I love it. And I just want to show you some of the detail of the shawl. Get up a little close. There we go. And it's not showing, the detail isn't showing up super great because it's got all these beautiful specks and variegations in the yarn, but I don't care. It shows up good enough, and I adore it. It's beautiful shawl, and I have to take it off because I am so hot right now. Really hot, guys. So anyway, so that's that. I'm thrilled with this. I'm thrilled with it. It's just lovely and gorgeous. I blocked it 2 days ago, pinned it out on Emily's bed. I'm a very lazy blocker, but usually my stuff comes out fine. You know, you're wearing it around your neck. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it comes out. My stuff comes out pretty good. I mean, you can see a lot of the. You know, I block out to points, and you can see the beautiful detail. So let me put that over here, because I'm still pretty hot. And I'm never hot, guys. Never. I'm going to be stripping for you soon. I have a sweater on, undershirt. Whoa. Anyway, so that's that. Super thrilled with that. I absolutely love it. One thing, at the very end, I realized through measuring and weighing and whatnot that I was going to run out of yarn. So that was actually fine because I was really only short by 2 rows. So what I did, I just recharted it. It's a lace chart. And I recharted the lace chart in order to eliminate 2 rows. And it came out fine. I don't even think Isolde could tell. Maybe she could if she looked close enough. But what I ended up doing was I had to put in a decrease that will decrease 3 stitches in order to make it work. And I looked one up on the internet and it worked fine. And I guess apparently a lot of Japanese patterns have decreases that decrease 3 stitches. So a center decrease that decreases 3 stitches. So it worked out great, and I'm thrilled with it. It came out fabulous. I'm going to wear it to work tomorrow. Came out great. Really super. So that's that. I have another finished object, but I do not have the actual object to show you. I will put in a picture, probably on that side, wherever the picture pops up. And this is that beautiful Metal and Tosh yarn that I knit up into a Yowza Weigh It Shawl 1, the Yowza Weigh It Shawl 1. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw a picture of it, and I gifted it to her on St. Patrick's Day. And the day before, I was talking to her, and she was saying to me, "Oh, your shawl is so beautiful. You have another beautiful shawl." She always admires my knitting. And I was like, "Oh, I wish I had that shawl with me today," but it was still blocking. So I gave it to her the next day, and she loves it so much. She had it on 2 days in a row at work, and she's wearing it when she has her chemo treatments because it's cold in those facilities. So I am so happy that I did that for her, and it's going to be well loved and well used. And you don't mind knitting for someone when they are really going to enjoy your piece. So, or their piece actually. So that was great. That was a big success, and it's beautiful. The shawl is gorgeous. I can't wait to knit one for me. And I've been stalking the Miss Babs site because I'd like to order a skein of Yowza. I am not going to wait in those crazy lines at festivals to get Miss Babs. I actually got some over the summer at SSK. I got a beautiful skein. Actually, I would like to show it to you. I'm not going to show it to you today because I'd have to like go over there and pull stuff out. I got a beautiful skein of Yowza last summer, but it really needs to be knit into some sort of lace because it's mostly a solid. It's blue. It's like this beautiful shade of blue with a little bit of green. And I'm thinking of knitting it into the Juneberry Shawl by Jared Flood. That could be my knitting dreams today. Is that, you know what? I'm going to grab that skein. Just look at the pretty shawl. No, I'm just going to go. It's right behind me, over here in my worsted stash over here. Oh boy, I did have it. Oh no, it's in here. Here it is. Okay, I still have my microphone on. Here's the skein of Yowza that I have. And I got it at SSK last year. And it's beautiful. I don't have a lot of blue. And I should wear blue more often because I have blue eyes. And blue tends to look very nice in me, apparently, because people always compliment me when I wear blue. But I don't wear it very often. And I don't knit it very often. So that's why I grabbed this beautiful skein, and I'll bring it up closer for you so you can see how pretty. It's got green. Yep. So it's a gorgeous skein, and I really love it. It's really beautiful. So yeah, Juneberry Shawl, and which is a worsted weight lace detailed shawl written by Jared Flood, or one of his designers. And yeah, so that's my plan for this. I've never knit with Miss Babs yarn, ever. And I have another skein I'm going to show you today. Did I get it out? I didn't get that one out either. But I guess I'll show that next week since I showed this one. Yeah, so I've never knit with Miss Babs. So I actually, bringing it back to the Yowza Weight shawl, this isn't jazzy enough for me to knit into that Yowza Weight shawl. I want something with a lot of color. And I'm thinking maybe a skein of her colorway Berlin, which is what the sample of Susan's latest Yowza Weight Shawl 3 is made out of. So I actually may knit that shawl anyway, the number 3, that just came out. And she made it out of Berlin, which is a beautiful color. It's got blues. And it also has my favorite color of all time, which is lime green. Lime green is probably my favorite color right now. I love lime green. I'm obsessed with it. So Anyway, so that's that. That's a long, involved explanation of my second finished object, which is Liao's Away at Shawl 1. And I made it in the Madeline Tosh DK. And I believe the colorway was Night Song, and it was a beautiful rose color. And you'll see the picture. I'll pop it in. All right, so that's that. Those are my finished objects and works in progress. I've made quite a lot of progress on my socks education sock. Isn't this pretty? This is the Kama Sutra colorway from Mustache Yarns. And it was a special order that you had to sit on Ravelry and like jump on it when she opened the thread. And I jumped on it, got the sock, or got the yarn. I showed it to you last week in the skein. Got this bag that matches. And we were able to cast on March 1st. I cast on March 2nd. And the whole premise of the knit along is to learn a new technique. So I signed up for the double gusset class. And that class is taught by, her Ravelry name is Turtle Girl 76. And she wrote the pattern and has several beautiful patterns using that heel. So it's top down. And I talked last time about how I started knitting socks years ago. Traditional top down, traditional gusset, traditional toe. That's how I learned how to knit socks. I've since switched to toe up, and I've experimented with lots of different heels with toe up, and it's my preferred method at this time in my knitting career. But I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do a top down. Why not? So I cast on and top down, and I wanted to use all of these amazing, gorgeous colors. So I knit the leg using all 22. And yes, there are 22 different colors. And if you see, oh yes, but wait a minute, there's red up here and red in here. No, those are two different shades of red. They're subtle, but they're two different shades. Same with the purple. This is like a lighter purple and this is a darker purple. It's beautiful. Look, just these shades, these colors are gorgeous. And it flew, you know, on my needles. I raced down this leg because I wanted to see what was going to come next. I didn't look at any spoilers in any of the threads because it's so exciting to see all the different colors. So I knit the whole cuff leg, and then I started the double gusset heel, and I was on my way up to Utica, and I actually Instagrammed all this. On my way up to Utica and knit that double gusset heel on the way. Came home and tried it on. It did not fit me. It was way too big, way too long. The heel, the gusset itself was way too long. And I followed the directions as written. I knit a 64-inch sock, 64-stitch sock. So I did my heel flap on 32 stitches. And what I did, I didn't do a slip stitch heel, I did a stockinette heel flap. So I went into the group and posted that, and they said, well, it could be because when you do a stockinette heel flap, it's looser. So I thought, well, I really didn't want a slip stitch heel flap because I just love these colors so much. I didn't want it to, I don't know, I just didn't want to. So I shortened it with a regular, I shortened the heel flap, I ripped it back, shortened the heel flap, did the double gusset decreases, which are on the bottom of the foot here. They're not on the side. Regular gussets are on the side. This is on the bottom of the foot. Still didn't fit. It was too short. It was too short that time. So I thought, all right, I'm going to give it one more chance. So I knit the flap doing the slip stitches. I did a slip stitch heel flap. Followed the directions exactly as the pattern stated. Did 32 rows, which is half the stitches, which normally fits me fine with a regular gusseted sock with a slip stitch heel. Okay. Did the double gusset, too long. And it definitely shortened it when I did the slip stitch, so that the heel flap tightened up quite a bit. It did not fit. So I said, that's it. I'm done. And I figured out why it doesn't fit. It has nothing to do with the pattern. Absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever. I have extremely flat feet. So what this double gusset does is it hugs, it creates like this cup for your heel. And if you have a nice big arch, strong arch, it probably would fit you great. I do not. I have flat feet, no arch, nothing. This did not fit me. It just didn't fit me at all. A gusset on the side with a 32-inch heel flap fits me fantastic. But I think it's because it pulls it up and it flattens it out on the bottom for me, and it's fine. But this one did not fit. So I went into the thread because, you know, the whole purpose is to do this whole socks education and talk to the teacher. And I went into the thread and I said, I've tried 3 times. It just doesn't work for me. And I could have shortened it again with the slip stitches, but then I'm like, no, I don't want to knit this again. So I thanked Christy, I think is her name. I thanked her for all her time and thanked her for helping me and moved on. So this is now sporting a gorgeous OMG heel by Megan Williams, which is another heel that we could use for this knit along. And I've knit this heel before with a toe-up sock, and it fits me great. So I knit the top-down version, which is entirely different than the toe-up version. Entirely different, except for one stitch. And it fits me great. It fits me perfect. So we're eligible for prizes as long as we use one of the patterns that is in Socks Ed, and OMG is in Socks Ed. So that's fine. So it was still a new technique for me because it was a top-down instead of toe-up. And there we go. I have it. It's done. So I started the second one. And it's on the needles. And I'm pretty much almost done with, well, I'll be done with it by Wednesday, I'm thinking. I could probably finish it today if I motored through it. But leg is done. And I'm just starting, heel is done. And I'm just starting to go off on the foot. And what's nice about Stacy Mustache Yarn's skeins is that she has this thing where she calls it OCD, where if you want perfectly matching socks, she winds 2 skeins that start in the exact same spot. So if you can see, I started with the red here, and the same for here. I didn't have to do any work. She did all the work. And I started with the red on this one. So they're exactly perfectly matching, which is awesome. There's the heels. They match beautifully. So, super excited about that. And yeah, by Wednesday I should have a new pair of socks. And plenty of time to enter for the giveaways at the end of the month. So I think she's going to draw for coupon codes and private shopping in her shop. Hello. After I knit with this yarn, I had never knit with her sock yarn before. Oh, it's nice. Ooh, it's nice yarn. It's really nice. I really like it a lot. It's one of the nicer ones. Like that lollipop is nice. This is nice. I really like it. So if you ever get a chance to get some of Stacy Mustache Yarn's yarn, grab it because it's beautiful and it knits up fantastic. Oh, I had a little incident today. I was so mad. I was knitting on the second sock in the car, and I'm on this mustard yellow color, and I got it caught in my zipper of my jacket. The zipping part, you know, with the part that goes up and down, I could not get that yarn out of that no matter what. And it wasn't zipped into the jacket, it was just caught in the zipper, and it had gone up underneath it. I couldn't get the darn yarn out. It annoyed me. So I got home and I had it on the table, had my jacket on the table, trying to get this out, couldn't get it out. I had to cut it, which really annoyed me. So yeah, I have some cut ends here that I had to, so more weaving in to do, but oh well, not the end of the world. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that little thing. And then when I was trying to fix it, for some reason the stitches kept falling off my needles. I'd pull it out of the magic loop wrong. Ooh, I had a fun afternoon with that sock. I don't know what the problem was. So that's that. I finished another square on my blanket, and it's actually over here, and I'm going to stop the recording and grab. See, I always have so much great stuff to show you guys. It's hard for me to remember to grab everything, but this is my latest square. This is the Great American Afghan blanket that I'm knitting. And this square was knit in the round. Isn't it pretty? It's got so much beautiful cable detail. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And my goal is to finish this blanket by, I want to finish it by June. I want to finish all the squares by June and seam them up in July. Just take my time. And I'm off in July, so hopefully that will work for me. And this is square number 7. I just cast on square number 8. You know what? I don't think I showed you the fish. Hang on. Yeah, the fish is really cute. I had to show you the fish. I thought it was a pineapple, but it's not. It's a fish. It's a fish actually caught in a net, because this is an Aran sweater, and many of these patterns were knit by fishermen's wives for their husbands to wear while they were doing their trade. So I thought that was really clever. So I love it. This was a fun one. So I had a little bit of a disaster with this. I mean, it wasn't really a disaster, but what happened was I decided to block this one because this one was knit in the round, and it was kind of all squinched when I got it off the needles. And I blocked it the same time I blocked that green, the green shawl I just showed you. Oh my goodness. This thing stretched so much. And I knew it would because it's superwash wool. But it really, I mean, it was ridiculous. And I was upset because that's not the look I want. I want nice tight stitches and good stitch definition, and the cables were fine. It's just the reverse stockinette was terrible. So I let it dry mostly, and then I put it in the dryer, hoping that it would tighten back up again, and it did. So I'm going to have to be really careful when I block these. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. I mean, maybe cold water and just a quick dunking. I mean, they don't even really need blocking. And what's good to know is that I can wash it. It's machine washable, and throw it in the dryer. Because that's what I'm going to have to do with this thing, which is fine. Because I know my dog's going to lay on it. So's the cat. Maybe I'm going to have to really put this away after I use it, because I'm putting a lot of work into these. So what I'm trying to do in the next 3 months is do one a week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much stamina I have. One a week is equivalent to about 10 rows a day, which doesn't sound like much, and it's not. I think it'll be fine. It's just that cables slow you down. But I've gotten into the groove now. I'm not using a cable needle, which I love. It makes it so much faster. And I'm getting faster as I go along on these. I'm learning the stitches, so it's not so laborious. And I love knitting on it. One of my friends said, "Why are you doing that? Why are you killing yourself to get this done?" Blah, blah. Put it away. Because I know if I put it away, I'm not going to get it done. And I want it done by next winter. I would really like to have it done. The reason, my master plan to get it done by August is so I can put it into the stash dash. It's like 2,000 yards for stash dash. So we'll see. I can do it. It's just a matter of, my biggest problem is it's taking away from other things I want to knit. Because right now I want to knit everything. So, we'll see. So that's that. Speaking of things I really want to knit, this is what I spent the better part of the weekend doing. Look at this. This, my friends, is a magic cake. It's huge. It's not quite the size of my head, but it's big. And I have a big honkin' ball wonder to put it on. I have a Nancy's Knit Knacks that I invested in. I still stink at winding balls, but I was lucky with this one. It came out great. So, isn't this beautiful? I just love it. It's so fun. This is going to be my purple people eater shawl scarf. And what I'm knitting is Tubularity by Martina Bem. And Tubularity is a scarf or shawl, that is knit in a tube. And if you've ever made Viajanche, which I made last year, someday I'll show it to you. I'll wear it. It's very similar to Viajanche. Oh my goodness, there's a hawk flying right above my skylight. Sorry. Squirrel. Just a hawk. He's really pretty. Oh, he's beautiful. Sorry, I really love birds. Anyway, so it's very similar to Viajanche, where you start out with a garter stitch triangle, and then you join it in the round. But instead of growing like the Viajanche kind of grows sideways, this stays in a tube. And it's going to be such a super fun knit, because I love knitting in the round. I love it. I just love knitting round and round and round with pretty colors. So I can't wait. I cast it on today, ripped it out already, because I had 17 stitches on one side and 16 on the other. I'm famous for that. I forgot to do an increase, so I just ripped it back. I'll get into the groove. What happened was I was doing this again in the car, and I didn't have any stitch markers to mark the right side, which is where you do your increases. And I just can't count to 2 and figure out where I am. So I need a marker to show me what side I'm on for garter stitch, because it's garter stitch. So super fun. So this is what I did to make this. I showed you a few weeks ago a whole bunch of leftovers. This is all leftovers that I had in my stash. The majority of it is socks that rock, because I had a socks that rock addiction years ago. I have many, many socks made from socks that rock. I will talk about that at another time. But I have lots of leftovers of it. And I love purple. So I really wanted to make something with the purples, with a little pop of something in the middle. And if you can see, I added some red. And originally I was going to add some fuchsia, and I changed my mind. I found a red in my stash, which is, the red is Cascade Heritage Sock Yarn that was originally going to be a color affection shawl. I did not like knitting with Cascade Heritage Sock Yarn. Sorry for those who liked it. I didn't like it. So I had a whole skein of it caked up, and I'm going to use a little bit of it. I can handle it for a little bit of this shawl, so that'll be fine. It's very splitty. I couldn't deal with it, so I don't have to knit a lot of this. It's pretty and it's bouncy and lovely. It's just I don't like executing stitches with it. So anyway, the majority of it's socks that rock. I also have the white here is a leftover from some colorwork mitts that I did many years ago, maybe 6 years, 7 years ago, that I made for my daughter. I'll show you those ones too. They're really pretty. They have mousse on them. So that's that. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to knitting this up. So this is how I did it. This stuff has been sitting in my stash, some of it maybe 6 years. I mean, in plastic bags, nothing got to it. It was perfectly fine, but it was wound in cakes and it was wound in balls. And when I skeined it, what I did was I weighed what I needed. So in the pattern, each section has 38 grams. If you're going to use 7 colors, each color should have 38 grams. And I found this information on Ravelry by Paula Knitting Pipeline. Her project notes state this, so I found that out. And so what I did was, for all the skeins that I had enough, 38 grams, I had enough of the white. I have 2 sections of 38 for the white, and I have, the middle has a purple that has 38. So I had 3 sections of 38, and then I just filled it in with the rest of, and the red. I also have 38 of the red. And then I filled it in with the rest of the scraps that I thought would go. And hopefully they'll go and won't look weird. I don't think they will. And so then I measured that all out. And I have a skein winder. I have the Shocked Ultra Umbrella skein winder, which is amazing because you can wind skeins of hand spun, and you can also use it as a Swift. It's fabulous. It's just a great tool. So I started winding with the purple, no, with the outer purple. That was first. And then when I got to the white, which was next, I did a magic knot. And if you want to look up magic knot, just look it up on YouTube, magic knot yarn, and it will pop right up. And I'll put the link in the show notes as well. And there's a great tutorial on how to do it. So I made a magic knot, did the white, then I did some more purples that you can't see in the inside, the red, and so on. So I would just wind, do a magic, when it comes to the end, I would do a magic knot and wind some more. And that's how I got this magic cake. It is about 280 grams. The project called for 260-ish. It's a little more. It'll be fine. And it's about a little over 800 yards. Between 800 and 900-ish, I kind of measured. But it got so thick, you know, it's probably more or less, I don't know. It's between 800 and 900 yards. So about 2 skeins of sock yarn, right? 2.5. And I think it's going to come out great. So you'll be seeing that, because that I'm going to take a break from socks once I finish these. And I was going to take a longer break from socks, but then this knit-along came up with mustache and I did it. But I'm done now for a while because I really want to knit this. So it's going to be this and those squares and another shawl that I have planning that I'll talk about in a few minutes. So that's all the knitting I've been doing. Well, that's a lot. I mean, I knit a lot, right? Which is cool. That's okay. All right, so let's get on to the spinning section of the show, spin off. And I'm going to start spin off actually by saying, haven't touched my wheel. I have not touched my wheel in over 2 weeks, which is a really long time for me, because for the past 1.5 years, I've been spinning every day on my wheel without fail. And I'll show you why I haven't touched my wheel in a minute. But this was the last project I did, and you've seen this before. This is my Clowny skeins, but I wanted to show you I finished the 3rd one. So I have 3 beautiful skeins of yarn. And when I got them all done, I realized this one has all like the greens and the yellows. You see a lot of yellow and pink in this one. This one has more of the teal and the purple. And this one's kind of really like a mix and like a turquoisey blue. This is going to be awesome. So I'm going to start with this, then go to that, and then progress to this when I knit this up. And this is going to be a Yowza Way It shawl. Maybe for my daughter, maybe for me. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, they're so pretty. Thrilled with them. Yeah, you can really see how muted this one is. But these are still, they're just beautiful. So I finished that and then I didn't touch my wheel. And the reason I didn't touch my wheel because I've been spindling, guys. This is my little Jenkins Lark spindle. And I want to get my little batlings from Hobbledehoy done because I'm doing a spin along with Wool and Vine, Kristen, in her group, Yarngasm. So yeah, so I've been spinning these little batlings up, and they're awesome. There's really a lot of fun, and they have sparkle, and they're super fine merino, yak, silk, and they're super, super, super pretty. This one's a really bright one. There's the underside. And when I wrap that, what I try and do And I'm not really being real careful with it with this, but I try and wrap so I follow the line. So if you can see, there's the line. So I'm just following along that same line, and that's what makes that beautiful wrap on the spindle. It's hard to show you on this camera. I'd have to really get the camera close to my hands to show you. So I've been spinning on that, and I have 5 completed. I have this purple one. Just want to make sure I'm focusing here. Yep, I have this purple one, this green one, I have a teal one, dark teal, a rose color. This was the same color as the shawl I just knit. And then I have this navy one that's kind of coming apart. Kind of worries me a little because what I'm going to do, I'm trying not to handle these too much because they're going to explode on me. So what I really want to do is I want to ply from both ends. So I'll take this end and this end and ply this all together so I can keep one color. So the colors are pure. I've done it before. I'll do it on my wheel. Hopefully it won't get tangly. I noticed yesterday when I was doing the pink that I had miswrapped it on the bottom here, and one of the strands was in the wrong spot, and I undid it and did it again because when I ply, I don't want it to get messed up because I wrapped it wrong. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll work. So when the pink is done, I'll have 6 complete and I have 4 to go. And then when they're all plied, and I'm hoping to be done by April, first week in April, by Easter, I'm hoping. And when they're all completed, I'll make a skein. I'll apply them on my wheel, and I want to knit a Miss Winkle shawl by Martina Bem. I'm kind of obsessed with her lately. I want to knit everything. And this is for a spin along that Kristen is hosting. So I want to get that shawl finished by April 30th. And it's totally doable, but I have to get going on those because I kind of put them aside. It's kind of like either wheel spinning or spindle spinning for me because I don't have time to do both a lot of times. Because I do a lot of knitting, you know. I have to balance everything out. So that's why I haven't touched my wheel. But I'm still spinning. Super fun. Okay. Ooh. Some birds there trying to chase that hawk away. Interesting. All right. So one last thing for spinning. I promised you a few weeks ago that I would show you how I blended the colors for my boxy. You've seen this before. I wore it to work this week with skinny jeans and boots, and it came out fabulous. I had so many compliments on it. People asking me if I made it and, you know, saying how beautiful it was. So that was a win. So anyway, that sweater was made of 4 braids of top. 3 braids were from Into the World. 1 braid, I can't remember where it was from. They were all the same fiber. They were alpaca merino silk. And so they all have the same base, but the colors were all pretty different. But they all went. They were all kind of warm colors. So I made a chart. I hope you can see this. If you can't see it, then okay. So I'm going to explain to you how I did this. Now on my camera, it's reading the letters backwards. So I don't know if it's going to, so anyway, you're going to get the idea. So I had 4 skeins. I had skein A, B, C, and D. So A was like a grayish. Let's just say the main color was gray. B, the main color was pink. C, the main color was blue. Blue? Yeah. And D, the main color was purple. So what I did was I split all the braids in half. So I would have A, B, B, C, C, D, D. So what I did was for skein 1 at the top of the sweater, actually it started at the bottom, but skein 1 is A, B. So it was this gray and pink together. Okay. Skein 2 was A, C, which was gray and blue together. Skein 3 was B, D, which is pink and purple. And then the very last one was C, D. And the reason I kind of mixed them up was because I liked the way they looked together. C, D, which was blue and purple at the bottom. And there's green in there as well. I just used the main color to show you. So the gray was very light, A. So all the A skeins I put at the top. So it's kind of like, so that's why the top is lighter, and then it goes to more darker colors and a more intense value at the bottom. So this is more muted, this is more intense in value at the bottom. And that's how I did it. And you can see the sweater. Here we go. So top, you can see the pink and the gray, and then the blues moving down. And it's lighter at the top, as you can see, and see the value becomes more intense at the bottom, and you can see those purples and blues more intense at the bottom. And there was also some of that pink too toward the bottom. B and D. Here's B and D, the pink and the purple here. So that's how I did it. And I think it blended the colors fabulous. Pretty happy about how it. The only thing I wish, my regret, is that I did not knit the bottom. I did not knit this in pieces. What I did was I knit the bottom of it in the round, and then you split at the arms, and then you knit this flat. So this is more muted, like not as stripy as the bottom. It's fine. I think if I ever did it again, I would have knit the whole thing flat. And then it would have been more muted at the bottom, which is, it's still fine. I think it came out awesome. So that's it, guys. I think that's all for today. I think I've been recording quite long enough. I've talked about a lot of things. I hope you learned a little something along the way. Let me know. Like the video on YouTube if you like what you saw. Join the group. Oh, I know what I didn't talk about. Our knit along. So the knit along that I'm doing is a chunk along. We're knitting chunky yarn. And I started something. I almost forgot to talk about it. See, I didn't put it out on my table, so I forgot. But it's right here. I had that beautiful teal. I'm in a teal space. I had that beautiful teal Malabrigo Rasta. And I started the Unoriginal Hat by Stephanie Pearl McPhee, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I'm through one of the repeats. And I think it's going to fit fine. I'm halfway finished. And I knit this on our way back to Utica last weekend. It's about 2 hours of knitting. And I'm knitting it firmly. Knitting it on a 10.5, so it's a pretty firm gauge because this yarn stretches. I know from experience. So I knit it pretty firmly. It's really pretty cables. And that's it. Thomas. Psst, 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 psst. Hi, Thomas. Come here. Hi, buddy. Thomas came to visit. Hi, you want to come up? Want to come up see the people? Want to come up? Psst, psst, psst. Come on. Want to come up? No, it's okay. He's a shy boy. You can come if you want. He won't jump in my lap. He jumps in his daddy's lap. He's a guy cat, which is cool. Okay, so back to the knit along. So the rules: pick some chunky yarn from wherever. It could be in your stash, could be something you buy. Knit a chunky object. Post in the FO thread that I'll open up at some point. And I think I have 5 people. So there's 3 prizes. Ayla Gray shawl, a skein of yarn from my LYS. You could pick chunky, you could pick any yarn from there, as long as it's not like ridiculously expensive. And a pattern of your choice. So there's 3 prizes. If there's only 5 of you, 3 of you are going to get a prize. So this is a good one if you want to enter. Knit some chunky yarn. 2 hours, it's done. So that's it. So join the group and follow me on Instagram. I am Stitch Mistress there. I am also Stitch Mistress on Ravelry. And on Twitter. And that's basically it. So have a great week, everybody. And hopefully the weather will start improving soon. We can get outside. Yeah. Have a great week. Bye.